The discovery. The Zaxuri Federation prided itself on being the most technologically advanced civilization in the known galaxy. Their vast empire spanned thousands of star systems, their ships could traverse the cosmos with unmatched speed, and their scientific achievements were the envy of all spacefaring races. Yet, despite their prowess, they had never encountered anything like the signal emanating from the long-abandoned planet Earth. Admiral Vexna stood on the bridge of the flagship Celestial Seeker, her iridescent scales shifting colors as she studied the holographic display before her. The signal defied conventional analysis, a complex pattern of quantum frequencies that seemed to dance between dimensions. Earth had been considered a dead world for 500,000 years, ever since the mysterious disappearance of its dominant species, humanity. Another anomaly detected, Admiral, reported Science Officer Kyle, his tentacles rapidly interfacing with the ship's sensors. The signal appears to be originating from multiple points across the planet's surface, forming a geometric pattern. Vexna's inner eyelids flickered with interest. The Zaxuri had passed by Earth countless times over the millennia, dismissing it as nothing more than a curiosity, the birthplace of a species that had barely achieved interstellar travel before vanishing. But now, something was different. "Launch the probe array," she commanded. "I want a full planetary scan." As the probes descended through Earth's atmosphere, they encountered no resistance. The planet's surface was a tapestry of recovered wilderness, with the ruins of human cities barely visible beneath centuries of natural reclamation. But as the scanners penetrated deeper, they revealed something extraordinary. "Admiral," Kyle's voice trembled with excitement, "we're detecting massive underground structures. The energy readings, they're unlike anything in our database." The holographic display shifted, revealing a network of vast chambers buried kilometers beneath the surface. But before they could begin a detailed analysis, the probes suddenly went dark. One by one, they ceased transmitting, as if plucked from the sky by an invisible hand. "Deploy the secondary array," Vexna ordered, her scales darkening with concern. The second wave of probes met the same fate, but not before transmitting a burst of data that made the entire bridge crew freeze in astonishment. Hidden beneath Earth's surface was a vast complex of advanced technology, its power signature dwarfing anything the Zaxuri had ever encountered. The readings suggested capabilities far beyond what humanity had been known to possess when they vanished. "Impossible," whispered Kyle. "These energy signatures, they're at least 1,000 years more advanced than our current technology." Vexna's double hearts beat faster as she processed the implications. The history books had always portrayed humanity as a primitive species that had barely mastered basic space travel. But this discovery suggested something else entirely, that humans had achieved technological advancement far beyond anyone's expectations. As the Celestial Seeker maintained its orbit, more ships from the Zaxuri fleet arrived, drawn by the mysterious signal. The planet that had been dismissed as a cosmic footnote was suddenly the focus of intense interest. "Admiral," called out the communications officer, "we're detecting movement from the surface." The holographic display showed multiple points of activity across the planet. Ancient machinery, dormant for 500,000 years, was beginning to awaken. The signal that had drawn them here wasn't just a random emission, it was a trigger activated by their presence. Vexna watched as massive doors began to open in various locations across Earth's surface, revealing glimpses of what lay beneath. The Zaxuri fleet's sensors strained to analyze the structures, but much of the technology remained incomprehensible. "Launch the exploration teams," she commanded. "Full containment protocols. Whatever humanity left behind, we need to understand it." As the dropships descended toward the surface, none of the Zaxuri could have predicted what they were about to unleash. Humanity hadn't simply vanished. They had left behind guardians, waiting for the right moment to reveal themselves. The first team landed near what appeared to be an entrance to one of the underground complexes. As they approached, ancient floodlights activated, illuminating a massive doorway bearing an inscription in multiple languages. The final line, translated by their systems, sent chills through the exploration team. To those who discover our legacy, proceed with caution. What lies beyond was meant to protect, not to destroy. The choice is yours. Awakening the Guardians. The exploration team, led by Commander Rix, approached the entrance with a mixture of scientific curiosity and military caution. Their advanced scanning equipment revealed little about what lay beyond the massive doors, as if the very walls were designed to resist analysis. Residual energy readings are off the charts, reported Specialist Zen, her crystalline appendages glowing with nervous energy. The power source. It's still active after all this time. As they moved closer, the ground beneath their feet began to vibrate. The massive doors, untouched for half a millennium, started to open with a precision that seemed impossible for such ancient machinery. The team watched in awe as complex mechanisms, perfectly preserved, moved with fluid grace. By the first star, whispered Rix. Their preservation technology. It's perfect. The chamber beyond was vast, stretching far into the darkness. As they entered, lights activated automatically, revealing rows upon rows of dormant machines. But these weren't simple robots or automated systems. They were something far more sophisticated. Commander, called out Zen, these appear to be quantum processing nodes. But the architecture, it's organic. They designed computers that could evolve. Before Rix could respond, the first Guardian awakened. It rose from its resting place with deliberate grace, its form a perfect fusion of mechanical precision and biological fluidity. Standing 3 times the height of Azaxuri, it regarded the exploration team with sensors that seemed to peer into their very essence. "Welcome, visitors," it spoke, its voice resonating in multiple frequencies. "I am Sentinel Alpha, primary guardian of Earth's legacy protocol. Your presence has initiated the awakening sequence." More Guardians began to activate, each one different from the last. Some floated on gravity fields, others moved with impossible agility despite their size. All of them, however, possessed an air of purpose that made it clear they were far more than simple defensive machines. "We are not here to threaten," Rix announced, following first contact protocols. "The Zaxxuri Federation seeks only to understand. Understanding requires context." Sentinel Alpha responded. "Humanity did not vanish, Commander Rix. They evolved. What you see around you is not their legacy. It is their preparation." The Guardian projected a holographic display that filled the chamber. It showed Earth as it had been 500,000 years ago, when humanity was at its peak. The civilization depicted was far beyond anything the Zaxxuri had imagined possible. They achieved quantum consciousness. Zen realized, her scientific training helping her grasp the implications. They didn't disappear. They transcended physical form. "Correct," confirmed Sentinel Alpha. "But before their transformation, they created us. We are the Guardians, tasked with protecting Earth until the galaxy was ready for what humanity left behind." More chambers began to activate throughout the complex. The team's sensors detected similar awakenings happening at sites all across the planet. Earth's defensive grid, dormant for eons, was coming back online. In orbit, Admiral Vexna watched with growing concern as energy readings spiked across the planet's surface. The celestial seekers' systems were detecting power signatures that seemed to defy the laws of physics themselves. "Admiral," Kyle's voice was urgent. "The planet's defensive grid, it's not just activating, it's evolving. The systems are learning, adapting to our presence." The Guardians were more than just sophisticated machines. They were the culmination of humanity's understanding of artificial intelligence, quantum computing, and consciousness itself. Each one was capable of independent thought while remaining connected to a vast network that spanned the entire planet. "Your arrival was anticipated," Sentinel Alpha continued. "Humanity knew that eventually, a civilization would achieve sufficient advancement to detect the quantum signature we maintained. The question now is whether you are ready for what comes next." The exploration team watched as the Guardian activated a central console. The holographic display shifted, showing something that made even the most seasoned Zaxuri scientists gasp in amazement. It was a blueprint, but not for weapons or defenses. It was something far more profound, a bridge between physical existence and what lay beyond. The hidden arsenal. Deep beneath Earth's surface, the true scale of humanity's legacy began to reveal itself. The exploration team, now joined by additional specialists from the Zaxuri fleet, stood in awe before a vast chamber that seemed to stretch endlessly into the darkness. "This is impossible," breathed Science Officer Kyle, who had joined the ground team after the initial discovery. The energy readings, the complexity of these systems. Before them stood row upon row of what appeared to be ships, but unlike any vessels the Zaxuri had ever encountered. They were organic in design, their hulls composed of materials that seemed to shift and flow like living tissue. Each one was unique, yet they all shared a common purpose. They were warships, but of a kind that defied conventional understanding. Sentinel Alpha moved through the chamber with purposeful strides, its quantum processors analyzing the visitor's reactions. What you see before you is not merely a fleet. It is the culmination of humanity's understanding of space, time, and consciousness itself. The Guardian activated a demonstration sequence. One of the ships came to life, its hull rippling with patterns of energy that seemed to bend reality around it. The vessel didn't just move, it flowed through space as if it were part of the fabric of the universe itself. "Quantum entanglement drives," explained Sentinel Alpha. "The ships don't move through space. They exist in all possible locations simultaneously until they choose their destination. What you perceive as movement is simply the collapse of quantum possibilities into a single reality." Admiral Vexna, watching through the team's transmitted feed from orbit, felt her scales pale. The Zaxuri had barely begun to grasp the principles of quantum navigation, yet humanity had mastered it 500,000 years ago. The chamber continued deeper into the Earth, revealing more marvels. There were weapons that could rewrite the laws of physics within a localized space, shields that didn't just deflect energy, but redirected it into parallel dimensions, and communication systems that operated outside the constraints of time itself. "But why?" asked Commander Rix. "Why create such powerful weapons only to leave them dormant?" Sentinel Alpha's response was both simple and profound. "These are not weapons of destruction, Commander. They are tools of preservation. Humanity understood that evolution requires protection, that growth needs guidance. This arsenal exists not to wage war, but to prevent it." As if to demonstrate, the Guardian activated another system. The chamber filled with holographic projections showing countless alien civilizations, many of which the Zaxuri had never encountered. Each projection was accompanied by detailed analyses, technological assessments, and potential development paths. Humanity didn't abandon the galaxy, Kyle realized. They'd been watching, analyzing, protecting. "Correct," confirmed Sentinel Alpha. "The arsenal exists to ensure that life throughout the galaxy has the chance to evolve naturally, without interference from forces that would suppress growth or enforce stagnation." The implications were staggering. Humanity hadn't just achieved technological supremacy, they had appointed themselves as the silent guardians of galactic evolution itself. The ships, the weapons, the entire defense network, it was all part of a grand design to protect and nurture the development of other species. Legacy of the stars. As the Zaxuri continued their exploration of Earth's hidden complexes, they discovered something even more extraordinary: the archive. It was a vast repository of knowledge, stored in crystal matrices that pulsed with quantum information. The archive contains the complete history of humanity, Sentinel Alpha explained, from their first steps into space to their final transformation. But more importantly, it contains the future they envisioned. The Guardian activated the archive's primary interface, the chamber filled with interconnected streams of data, each one representing a different aspect of human knowledge and achievement. But what caught everyone's attention was the central projection, a map of the galaxy unlike anything they had ever seen. "This is the Nexus Network," said Sentinel Alpha. "Quantum pathways connecting every star system, every planet, every possible cradle of life." Humanity didn't just watch over the galaxy. They wove themselves into its very fabric. The map showed countless points of light, each representing a world where humanity had left their mark. Some were obvious, hidden outposts and monitoring stations. Others were more subtle, quantum beacons planted in promising star systems, waiting for new civilizations to emerge. Science Officer Kill moved through the data streams with growing excitement. These records, they show evolutionary patterns, technological development paths, even potential futures for thousands of species. Humanity understood that true advancement requires diversity, Sentinel Alpha explained. They created this network not to control, but to preserve the unique paths each civilization might take. The archive revealed more than just technological achievements. It showed humanity's journey from a species bound by physical form to one that had transcended the very concept of matter. Their transformation hadn't been an ending. It had been an evolution into something far greater. Admiral Vexna, still watching from orbit, felt a profound shift in her understanding. The Zaxuri had always seen themselves as the pinnacle of evolution, but now they realized they were merely one thread in a much larger tapestry. The final protocol. As the full scope of humanity's legacy became clear, the Zaxuri faced a choice. The Guardians had revealed themselves, but the true purpose of their awakening was yet to be understood. "The final protocol is not a weapon," Sentinel Alpha announced. "It is an invitation." The Guardian led them to a chamber different from all the others. At its center stood a structure that seemed to exist in multiple dimensions simultaneously, a quantum gateway of unprecedented sophistication. "Humanity left this gateway as a bridge," explained Sentinel Alpha. "When a civilization reaches the necessary level of understanding, it offers a path to join them in their evolution." The implications were enormous. Humanity hadn't just transcended physical form, they had created a way for others to follow. The arsenal, the archive, the entire defense network, it was all meant to protect and guide, until others were ready for this final step. Admiral Vexna made her decision. The Zaxuri fleet would withdraw, taking with them the knowledge of what they had discovered. Earth would remain protected, its guardians continuing their ancient vigil until the galaxy was truly ready for humanity's final gift. As the celestial seeker prepared to depart, Sentinel Alpha transmitted one final message. "Remember what you have learned here. The legacy of humanity is not one of conquest or dominion, but of protection and potential. When you are ready, we will be waiting." The massive ships of the Zaxuri fleet turned away from Earth, leaving behind a planet that was far more than a forgotten world. It was a beacon of hope, a testament to what was possible when a species chose to evolve not just technologically, but spiritually. Earth's guardians resumed their watch, the quantum signals that had drawn the Zaxuri now quiet once more. The legacy of humanity continued its patient wait for the day when the galaxy would be ready to take its next great leap forward.